Welcome back to our Inner Space Doctor Who Season 8 special. We got some more great stuff coming up, including interviews with Jenna Coleman and Peter Capaldi that you haven't seen yet. But first, I'd like to welcome back to Inner Space our in-studio guest, Associate Editor of The Mary Sue, Sam Maggs, and Nerdcore rapper and DJ More or Less. Great to see you guys again. Now, you're both at our 50th anniversary special, but I don't know if we got a chance to talk about your reactions to the announcement of Peter Capaldi being the new Doctor. Les, what was your first thought?
Wow, those eyebrows.
He saw them.
Yeah, it was like boom. He's. It wasn't what I expected at all. Really, I was a little surprised by the announcement, but I think it's started to grow on me.
Yeah, was that your reaction as well, Sam?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for like a person of color, maybe a lady doctor, just like mix it up a little bit. But I'm at least glad that they didn't go with another young dude. I think it'll be nice to kind of mix up the vibe a little bit with Capaldi.
And it's great to have someone who is such a fan of the franchise finally, stepping into those shoes. Do you think that it's indicative of a new direction for the show, really quick?
I think it has to be. I think they have to go for a more serious, less whimsical tone, maybe a little darker. I'm really looking forward to that. I hope the scripts reflect that.
Well, the man who is crafting those scripts is, of course, Stephen Moffat, and that's actually where Peter Capaldi auditioned for the role, and it's exactly where Teddy Wilson had the chance to talk to Stephen about the success of the series. First things first, let me remind you that Space is currently showing Doctor Who, classic episodes Saturdays at 4 in the afternoon. Speaking of classic episodes, guys, are there any classic villains that you think we might see appear in this new season, or that you're hoping for?
Well, I would hope for the Return of the Master. I don't think it's going to happen, really. I mean, fingers crossed. But I think it would be really awesome if they ever brought back the Ronnie. But
I was about to say,
I have no idea if that would even be a consideration.
I feel like we maybe hear Davros in the trailer a little bit, so maybe that's happening. I don't know.
The speculation online that it could be either Ranning or did I say it right? Ronning? Ranning?
Depends on what part of London you're from.
Yeah, British accent applies.
Yeah.
What about the new potential companion? Any hopes there? Because we know we're getting a love interest for Clara.
Can I just, I need to express my displeasure with this. Because when Peter Capaldi came on, I was like, yes, they have to go away from making Clara just flirt all the time. Because that was her whole personality. And I was like, oh, she's doing new things. No, now she has another boyfriend. So all she's going to be is flirting all the time. Why? Terrible.
But love is love. I feel like I'm sitting in Teddy's chair, and now I'm advocating for all the things that Teddy advocates for. This is getting weird, folks. What are your hopes overall, Les? What do you want to see this season?
Oh, wow. I'd like to see just I think I would like to see a bit more of a darker tone has been talked about, but also, a good combo of that and comedy, because the show has always had a good deal of, a good dollop of some comedic moments in it with the Doctor and some other, some other guest character usually, I think is the best sort of interaction.
We know Capaldi can handle the comedy as well as the darker tone. Really quickly, I argue with Teddy about going to Gallifrey. I think it's a bad idea. Your thoughts? Should we go to Gallifrey?
I think it's kind of a bad idea, too. I think what made the... Yeah, sorry, Teddy. Sorry. I think what made the new series work is that you didn't have all these Time Lords running around and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Stay away from Gallifrey. Sam said it here. And stick around. We got more after the break.
Teddy, still so cool and jealous that you got to be on the blue carpet.
I'm lucky, I'm sorry.
But it must have been so interesting seeing Jenna Coleman and Peter Capaldi next to each other. I mean, could you feel the chemistry between them?
It was so cool, a sign of things to come. It's clear they really like each other. There was a great chemistry between them, but overall, just seeing Peter Capaldi talking about getting the role and wanting to hug the TARDIS and wanting to hug the Dalek, you really see that inner 5-year-old in him. He was 5 in 1963 when that first episode hit. So couldn't you see the fanboy?
Yeah, I want to see him actually hug the TARDIS. I want to see that. That's hard.
He tried. I had to restrain him.
It does seem like Capaldi is certainly a man with a lot of love, but as we mentioned earlier, we won't see the Doctor, being as flirtatious with the companion. That said, do you think that there will be a love interest for him in the season at all?
I'm not really looking forward to that.
No?
No.
I feel like it won't happen. Yeah, I think Peter Capaldi would put the smackdown on that. He won't. He's no nonsense.
And I feel like Peter Capaldi has already said, there's going to be so much danger. We want people to be on the Doctor's side. I think he's going to be so consumed with everything that's going around him that I think a love interest would just kind of, it just wouldn't fit.
Well, we talked earlier, you know, it was chatted about earlier how there is an element of loneliness all the time with the Doctor. But I want, it sounds morose, but I want this to be the most lonely Doctor we've ever seen. Because I want that edge, I want that darkness, and I want him to be driven into that darkness by a bit of loneliness. So no love interest for the Doctor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's going to be so lonely, then, you know, going to Gallifrey would alleviate that situation.
Wouldn't it?
Why
'Cause he
it
could-
wouldn't make any sense for him to go to Gallifrey.
You can be with the Time Lords again. So let's get a little bit academic. We've talked about hopes for this season and for Peter Capaldi and Jenna Louise Coleman, but let's talk a little bit about the history of Doctor Who. The show's been going for 50 years, longest running sci-fi show in history. Why? Why does it work so well?
It's the ultimate storytelling vehicle. You have the TARDIS, which is the best plot device ever. You can go anywhere to any time. You can have any genre. It can be a Western, it can be a romance, it can be whatever. Like, you can literally do anything on the show.
Yeah.
That's like limitless potential.
Yeah, I think the introduction of just monsters in the wrong place at the wrong time, I think, has totally worked for the show. Where you know, you could be in Rome, ancient Rome, and all of a sudden there are futuristic, you know, monsters and robots there. I think it's a good move.
But it's
for
very
a sci-fi show.
It's very special to Doctor Who, though, because I don't know if any other show could replace their lead character and we would still be addicted to it. I just don't think it would work. So this is a very, very special show.
Well, that's such an essential element, as we heard tonight. And really quickly, this first episode, do you want to be blown out of the water right away? Do you want it to be a slow burn? Do you want to get to know the Doctor immediately? Do you want some mystery? What are your hopes for the episode?
I'm kind of hoping that they skip past the "where am I, who am I" bit quickly and get like straight to the action.
I need to be blown away by this episode because I wasn't impressed with the last half of season 7. So I need a strong start.
I agree.
How do you think they're going to explain away the fact that we've already seen Peter Capaldi in the Who universe?
Well, the Doctor can take on faces of people he's already seen.
Oh,
They
okay.
have established this in the canon.
That's
Nerd. Bam!
Seems a little simple for me, but all right. Before we go, we got to mention that we have a special deck of trading cards. Take a look at this that we will be giving out at Fan Expo. You can pick them up at our space booth. Here's all the Doctor Who ones.
Look at that. And within certain decks are those special Doctor Who cards, including the holographic card. Check it out. The future hologram.
Also, something else to note, Doctor Who will move to a new time slot at 9 p.m. Eastern beginning Saturday, August 30th.
That's it for tonight, though. Thank you once again to our guests for joining us, Sam and Les. And don't forget to watch the big Doctor Who season premiere kicking off Saturday at 8.
Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time. And Geronimo, 1, 2, 3, Geronimo!
Good
job. Good job.
Good. No, seriously, so good.
Yeah. Matt Smith's first line was, "Can I have an apple?" If you were going to pick a piece of food and say, "Can I have a blank?" as the Doctor, what would it be?
A banana.
Tom McGranen.
Grapes.
Tomato.
Drink.
I need a drink.